Hello guys, hello and welcome to my channel. You're welcome to my community. Guys, it's been a while. Well, I've been keeping away something from you guys, and I think the time is right to let you know that I have moved on to better things. Guys, in this video, I'll be sharing with you how and why I have decided and I finally left domiciliary care. For most of you that have been following this community for a while, for those of you that have been here, that have stuck on with this community, you know I have shared my journey of being a domiciliary carer here in the UK. Well, like they say, everything that has a beginning has an end. So for me, my journey with domiciliary care has come to an end. And I've moved on to other things, I've moved on to better things. And this is what I'll be sharing with you guys in this video today. You're welcome. Ensure you stick to the end as I'll be sharing juicy details of how, why, and where I am and what's ahead of me. Right, if you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Jenny. I'm Jane Sampson. This is my community, Jenny's Hub. You are welcome. Join the community. Consider subscribing if you want to hear more information of how to live your best life abroad, how to relocate abroad, how to come into the UK as a healthcare worker, and of course, how to live your best life abroad generally. Guys, this is the community you want to be in. We share it juicy and we keep it hot, hot, hot. So guys, you're welcome once again. So this video today, guys, it's finally happened. I've left domiciliary care and I've moved on to better things. As you can see, guys, it's all over me, isn't it? Right. So I don't even know where to start from, but I will start from somewhere. So for me, the journey started where I had to relocate back into the UK as a domiciliary carer. Like I always tell people, I knew firsthand what I was coming to do. For me, I was at advantage because we were among the first set of people that actually came into the UK via this healthcare work visa route sometime last year. So we enjoyed a little bit of the benefit before the whole thing, became a lot of companies now started making a mess of it, unfortunately. But thankfully, the UK government is doing everything they can to try and, make the whole system to make it be the way it should be. So I came into the UK last year, actually, April 2022, to start my journey afresh again as a healthcare worker here in the UK. My company provided me with a car. They gave me 1 month free accommodation here in the UK, so there was soft landing for us at the beginning. But guys, the truth was the job was tough. But like I always tell people, even though yes, it's tough, it's doable. It was tough to do the job. It was tough at the beginning. It was really tough at the beginning. That's the truth. It was tough driving from one place to another, especially for me who wasn't used to driving a lot. Yes, I used to drive in Nigeria, but my husband did much of the driving. So now coming to drive, from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, it is tough. And for some people who are in places like London or in the environs of London, they have to go on foot or they have to use the bus. But in the midst of it all, I knew that I was only going to be there temporarily. And that is what I keep telling people. Why you come into the country as a domiciliary carer, what should be at the back of your mind is, what next? What next am I going to do? You start from day one to start planning. So for me, I understood that I was only going to be here for a period of time. So I gave it my all. I put in my best. And even though it was tough for me, I was also trying to encourage other people via my YouTube channel. I was also trying to hold the hands of other people through this channel by saying, look, if I can do this, you can do this. And I'm thankful for where I am. I'm thankful I've been able to affect people, even though some people criticize me for it. Oh, you're making us scared. You're doing this. But I was only sharing my truth. So guys, stick with me. I'll be sharing some details of why I had to leave, when I left, and all the juicy details. If you have not subscribed to this community, you are missing. There's a whole lot that is coming on this channel. So better jump on the bob wagon while we are at it. Right, guys. So for me, like I said, my company gave me 1 month of free accommodation. I was given a car. All we needed to do was to, pay the insurance of the car and pay for maintenance. But the company fuels it, but we'll pay for every other expenses, for the car. So this made it a little bit easier for us, to be very, very honest. But the truth is, the job of going from one place to another was tough. The domiciliary care itself is not tough because some people you do very minimal for them, but it is the act of going from one place to another that was really, it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on your mental health. It takes a toll on your physical health. It drains you. And the truth is you barely have time for yourself. I've shared the pros and cons of domiciliary care on my channel. I've shared the reality, I've shared the expectation, I've shared everything on this channel. So if you haven't seen this video, I don't want to bore you with all that details. I have videos, I'll be linking them at the end of this video. I have so many information if you want to know more about domiciliary care. But for my journey, that journey has come to an end and I've moved on to bigger things. And that is what I implore you guys. While you're doing domiciliary care, it is tough, it is difficult, but you need to have a progressive plan ahead of you. So for me, my company gave me 1 year visa, and I have a number of people who've asked me that question. I was given a 1 year visa. Initially, I was like, just 1 year. But the truth was, when I came into the UK, it became a blessing. It became a blessing because a lot of companies will expect you to spend at least a period of time with them before you move. So my company paid for just my COS, all right? I paid for my flight and every other thing and the fare accommodation. So they expected me to spend at least minimum of 6 months with them, all right? So I had this at the back of my mind that, by the end of 6 months, I should always be planning planning my exits. So I took all that pain, I took it on, I was already planning, as time went on, I started applying for jobs. For me, I was not just applying for any other jobs because the truth is, in care is quite a broad range. While we have domiciliary care, we have those that work in care home as care assistants. We have support workers, which is more easier. We also have agency workers. We also have those that work in the hospitals, like the NHS. Now, it is one thing, getting a care job in UK is quite easy. It's not that difficult. But getting a sponsored job, getting a company that will sponsor you, that is where the cocoa is, all right? So that is where the onus lies. And because I just didn't want to jump from fry pan to fire. I didn't just want to go anywhere. I had to take my time to plan myself on my next move. All right, so I took my time. I was planning where next I wanted to go, and I knew that I wanted to work in the National Health Service, which is what we call the NHS. Now, a lot of times people think, the NHS do not sponsor, they don't provide sponsorships for care assistant. I'm telling you now from my mouth, NHS provides sponsorship. A lot of NHS trusts provide sponsorship, but you have to know on what band. Now we have what we call the banding system here in the UK. All right, so we have band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5, which is where you have the nurses and other professionals. So most NHS trusts, they sponsor band 3. The reason they sponsor band 3 because of the salary scale. Remember, one of the requirements for you to get a healthcare work sponsored visa is for your salary to be above £20,000. Now, for some band 2s, their salary is below £20,000. So band 3 is the one that is actually above £20,000, a little bit above £20,000 or more. So that is where most NHS trusts to apply to provide sponsorship for. So I knew I wanted to join the NHS, and initially I made that mistake. I was applying for any care assistant job I saw, but I had to take my time to do more research, and I realized that you needed to band 3. So if you're interested in joining the NHS, what you're looking for in most trusts is band 3, all right? And you have to meet the qualifications. Some want you to have MVQ, some want you to have just a care certificate. But my advice, like I always say, is ensure you have as much certifications as possible. Guys, just make sure you just go online. There are so many free courses you can get. They are all over the place. Just be gathering them, just be taking them, all right? And by the time you now want to apply for the NHS job, which is you don't use your CV, you have to apply through their website. List all the certifications you have, guys. Carry it carry like your crown. Of course, you took these courses. List all of them and then take your time to write your supporting statement. In my next video, I'll be sharing details. I'll be showing you my screen of how I applied, where I applied to, things you should consider, secrets you should know if you want to land an NHS job here in the UK. So for me, the journey has been tough. It's been long. It's been beautiful. It's been rewarding. I have learned a whole lot. I have met people. A lot of things, even though I've lived here in the UK before, my eyes has been opened to a different perspective. And I knew, okay, this is the path I wanted to go. And the path I wanted to go was to join the NHS Trust. Guys, it took my blood, it took my sweat, it took my tears, it took a whole lot out of me. The truth most of you did not know was the period I welcomed my family to the UK. Prior to that, prior to my family coming to the UK, the period I welcomed them to the UK, I wasn't working. Yes, I was out of a job for about 3 months. The reason was because there was a lot of delays in my starting my next job. Now, because my NHS trust provided me sponsorship, they provided a sponsorship, and for me to continue my recruitment process, I needed to change my visa. By the time I changed my visa, of course, I have to leave my employer. Guys, I'm also going to be sharing how to switch from one employer to another. So if it's something that interests you, just go ahead and subscribe. Put your notifications on this channel, and I'll be sharing the details. I'll show you my screen how to go about it. So just take your time and subscribe. Don't dull. So if you're doing domiciliary care, you've done it for a while, you have a tangible reason why you want to leave, go ahead and subscribe. For me, family was a major reason why I had to leave. And of course, I've also spent a reasonable time with them. I was given a 1-year visa. I had spent 6 months. These are things you want to consider. So while your company has given you a visa from overseas, depending on what they have funded for you, you also have to think about this. A lot of them, if you want to leave before a certain period of time, so most time to be in your contract, your employer to write in your contract to say, okay, if you leave us before so time, you have to pay us back the money we spent on you. All right, so you have to understand that these things are in your contract, so that you can plan yourself on your exit. If it's something you want to exit or you want to continue, is up to you. But whether you're exiting or not, ensure you have a tangible plan of where you're going, so you don't go from fry pan into fire. All right, guys, so that is it. So for me, I understood all this firsthand. I did my research, and when it was time to move, because the truth is, if you want to join a company like the NHS, they will require reference from your previous employer. NHS, they don't play. They don't play. They will drill your blood. They will drill everything out of you. They will require reference from your previous employer. So it is also great that you have at least some level of good relationship with your previous employer while you're leaving, especially if you're going to a place like NHS. Guys, don't just jump out and feel, I've gone, I'll just close and leave them. Unless you're going to maybe a care home, a supporting job, or another domiciliary care where they don't mind. But if it's the NHS, take it from me, they will require reference from your previous employer. So do everything you can. Just pet them, and ensure that you can get a reference from them. All right. Okay. So for me as well, one of the things I was also was also location. If you've been in the UK for a while, if you're coming to, you know that every location is not the same. There are places that you will live as you're being paid. You're paying the money back for rent. You're paying it for bills. I understood all this firsthand, and I wanted a location that at least can help me. At the end of the month, I will have a reasonable. I'll be staying in a house where I can reasonable renting. That was for me was key, because I didn't want to live in a 1-bedroom house or 2-bedroom house with my kids. I wanted to have that liberty to have a good place. So these are the things you want to consider while you're looking for a lot of us are desperate. You just want to go anywhere, but you want to look at LHS Trust is all over. A lot of them are sponsoring. You just need to put on the work to research and get the right trust for you. For me, I had multiple interviews, all right? I had multiple interviews, just that for some, because I was applying for Band 2, they couldn't sponsor me. In fact, at some point, guys, interestingly, I got a nurse associate role. If you're in the UK and you're looking at nursing as a profession, all right, and you want to be trained for free, what you want to look at is the nurse associate role. Some trusts are sponsored, some trusts are providing free training to become a nurse associate, which is the Band 4. But for now, a lot of them are not sponsoring. I don't even think they're sponsoring for that role. So if you're a dependent, all right, and your main applicant is already working, you're a dependent, say you're a dependent, you're thinking of that line, I would say look for nurse associate role. A lot of them will I got the interview, I passed the interview, it's just that they were not sponsoring. Okay, but we'll see how it goes with my trust. So I have currently moved from domiciliary care, and if you ask me, I think I've paid my dues, guys. I've paid my dues. I hope some of you agree. I've paid my dues. I am now with the NHS. I've joined the NHS Trust, and I'm working with a mental health trust. Okay, so guys, another tip as well, if you're looking at getting a sponsored job with the NHS, you want to look at mental health trusts. A lot of mental health trusts tend to provide sponsorship more than general. This is just from both my opinion and other people's opinion. It doesn't mean it's authentic. So if you're looking at wanting a sponsored job with NHS, look at NHS Trust, Mental Health Trust. They are scattered all over the UK. Just go and research. They're everywhere. But I'll be showing you how you can apply. I'll be showing you different steps in my next video how you will apply. So I'm now with the NHS, and guys, all I can say is no go no. I'm telling you, that is all I can say. It's been an amazing journey. I mean, coming from domiciliary care, going to the NHS and seeing, I'm just going to share my experience in the next so that this video doesn't get too long. It's been amazing. And I will say to anyone, as a care assistant, at least have a taste of working with the NHS. Just have a taste of it. Thank God for the opportunity to come into the UK. Thank God for what is provided for us. But I will encourage everyone to join the NHS. I'll be sharing the benefits of why you need to join the NHS in a subsequent video. So ensure that you stay tuned to this channel. Stick with me and I'll be sharing all the juicy details. But for now, just know that your girl has moved on to better things. I'll see you guys in my next video. Take good care. Trada!